Hello everybody and welcome back, or welcome to another video. If you couldn't tell by the title, it's time to choose our monthly TBR using my trusty TBR jar. I use my TBR jar every single month because in my opinion it's the best way to choose my monthly TBR and I have so much fun doing it. Now, if you didn't know how my TBR jar works, if you're new here then hi, stay for a while, but my TBR jar has got prompts in there. I've got to then pick a book that correlates with the prompt and that book will be on my monthly TBR. We choose 8 books here over on this channel. Do I read all 8 books? No, but we try our best here, okay? But I have got a new thing that I'm doing recently where I have a sort of like a monthly TBR takedown. So if you watch my TBR video and you think, oh, I really want to see Brie read that, then if you watch my TBR takedowns, then there's a good chance that they're going to be in there, or they'll probably be in other videos. So make sure you subscribe so you can keep an eye out for those. But I'm going to stop rambling and actually get into the video now. Oh, I always hate opening this. I've also taken some out because I feel like we're having a lot of repeats. So I've taken some out that we've had recently and we are just left with like ones that I haven't chosen in a while. I feel like I need to do an upgrade of these because I feel like they're just getting a bit repetitive. Ooh, okay, so a book with a pretty map. So this is going to be fantasy, obviously. I feel like I've got so many books with so many maps. Okay, so I've got 3 books here that are ones with like prettier maps. So you got Fall of Ruin and Wrath by Jennifer L. Armentrout. If you didn't know, I'm recently obsessed with Jennifer L. Armentrout. I'm currently reading the From Blood and Ash series. Obsessed. So I do really want to give this another go. She's got so many series and so many books out that I really want to try give this a go. But this is a really pretty map. Like the cover, like it's a really pretty map. It's very intricate. It's got little boats, it's got trees. It's not just like the places, you know, like you can see where everything is really well. And I don't actually know what this is about, but I do really want to go into it blind. It literally says on the top, you should have known better than to run. I will always catch you. Secondly, we got Trial of the Sun Queen by Nisha J. Tooley. I feel like I'm the only person that hasn't read this. I've seen so many people read this and rave about it. So I do really want to try and get to this. And I feel like this is going to be well up my street. Like if you didn't know or if you're new here, then I love anything to do with like trials and contests and like competitions and just I love those kinds of things like high stakes competitions. Sign me up. And this is literally 10 women, a deadly contest, only one can win the Sun King's heart. I love that. But this is the map. I feel like it's not as pretty as the other one, but you can still see all like the trees and the houses and the manors and like the mountains and things. So it's still really pretty. And then thirdly, we've got Ember in the Ashes. Again, so many people are raving about this recently and I really want to get into it. And I think this is another sort of like trial fantasy where I think they're in like, yeah, Leia must go undercover as a slave at the Empire's greatest military academy in exchange for assistance from those who claim that they can save her brother from execution. So she has to go into like a military academy. So again, she's going to be like training and things like that. So I think again, it's got like those like high stakes things going on and I just love those in the books. But the map, I feel like this map isn't as pretty as the other two. It's kind of boring. Like it's not, now that I look at them, they're not like the best. I feel like this isn't given what it needs to give compared to the other two. But the only thing I have now is which one do I read? I think I'm gonna go with Fall of Ruin and Wrath. It just sounds so much. I think it's like because it sounds similar, not similar, but like I think just because I'm in From Blood and Ash like kick at the minute, I feel like a GLA book is exactly just what I need in between the From Blood and Ash books, you know. So I feel like this. We're gonna go from Fall of Ruin and Wrath is what we're gonna choose. I do really want to read these two though, so maybe we'll try and put these on there at some point. Okay, so we've got our first book. Now let's get our second prompt. So a new release. What is a new release? I feel like I've read all of my new releases recently. I literally had 2 new releases come the other day, which was Sail Remember Me and The Conditions of Will, and I read them both back to back in a video. So my most recent new releases have already been read. I guess I could go back to what came out in March. Okay, this is the only thing that I've got, this which is like my most recent release, I think. Yeah, it definitely is. So we've got The Charlie Method. This was on my TBR for March, I think it was. And it came out right at the start of March or the end of February, I think this came out. And it has already been on a recent TBR of mine. I didn't get the chance to read it and I do really want to read The Charlie Method by Al Candy. I like the Campus Diaries, I'm obsessed with. I'm very excited to get to this. I just know that it's going to be extra spicy. I'll just be back in another Al Candy book because I do love a good Al Candy book. So I think I'm going to have to go with this because it's my only option. Get our third prompt. Ooh, an odd number of pages. Okay, this should be good. I feel like I'm just going to choose 3 books that I'm very excited to read and hope that they have odd number of pages. Now I just need to decide which books I'm the most excited for. Okay, so I've got 3 books here that have odd number of pages and I just got to decide which ones I fancy. That took me a bit of a while because all the ones that I did pick up, the ones that I was thinking of, like the From Blood and Ash book number 3 that I need to read, even number of pages. There was another Emily Henry book, The Funny Story, even number of pages. A Sarah Adams book, even number of pages. So these are very different in genre. Okay, so we've got Throne of Broken Gods, which I've been putting off for so long because it's huge. It's so big, and I do really want to continue the series because the Book of Azrael was honestly a 5-star read. Like, I think I'll have to do a bit of a recap before we come into this, but it was such an amazing read and I really want to get back into this series. But it's so big, but there is 761 pages in Throne of Broken Gods. And then we've got Killer Instinct by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the second book in the Natural series, and this is more of like a mystery thriller kind of YA situation. And this has got, I think it's like 375. And then on the opposite end of the scale then we've got a fun, happy contemporary romance, which is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I'm trying to go back on Emily Henry's books because, as if you've watched my book haul, I think I mentioned that I'm trying to get back into Emily Henry because I swore off Emily Henry, but now I'm trying to get back into Emily Henry because I really enjoyed Happy Place. I didn't enjoy Beach Read, and I think after I read Beach Read I like swore off Emily Henry, but then I read Happy Place and I really enjoyed it, so I want to read Book Lovers to see how I feel. This is 373 pages, so I don't know what I fancy. I don't know. I really don't know. I want to read them all, and like these two I'll be continuing a series if I read these, and then the Emily Henry is just a standalone. We'll get a random generator to choose from because I cannot decide. So we are just going to spin the wheel and see what comes up because I cannot decide. Please don't be the long one. Oh, the long one, Throne of Broken Gods. Don't you just love it when that happens? Why I put my faith on those wheel spinners, I never know. But obviously Throne of Broken Gods is going to be on my TBR. I'm acting like I don't want to read it, like it's a chore. It's just because it's so long and I don't think I've read like a long book in a while. No, I have. It's because I read back-to-back Zodiac Academy books, like including the tandem read, and I just needed a break from all the long books. But I guess we're not getting that break over here. Moving swiftly along. I'll definitely have to do a recap from the Book of Azrael because I've kind of forgotten a lot that happens. Ooh, a book with a pink cover. My favourite colour. What should we do? Okay, so I've got, where's that book on? I've literally got 2 books here. They're not like solid pink books. They're more of like an ombre book. But one's more pink than the other. So I feel like I don't know, we'll see. We've got these 2 anyway. We've got One on One by Jamie Harrow. So obviously we've got like, it's more of like a pink to orange and like the side is more orange, whereas we've got Close Protection by Eden Victoria, which is black to pink, but like the side is pink, and then we've got like the pink bottle, the pink writing. So I feel like this is giving more pink than this, and to be honest I think I'm more excited to read this. Like, if Eden Victoria is like one of the first book talkers I ever followed, and now that she's a published author is amazing, so I'm very excited to see what she's done with this, because obviously being in such a big presence in like social media things, I'm excited to see what she's taken from that to create a book, if that makes any sense. I hope it does. But this is a bodyguard romance. She's an heiress, like a very rich person, and there was like a break into the house, so her father hires a bodyguard, and that bodyguard happens to be Milosh, so I'm very excited. I feel like I haven't read a good bodyguard romance since I read Twisted Games, so I feel like this could be given. Very excited. Yeah, One on One, you're going back on TBR. Maybe another time, but your time is not for me. Okay, so we're halfway. Okay, so continue a book series. Okay, there's a lot that I could continue. Okay, A Crown of Gilded Bones by Jennifer L. Armentrout. We've got 2 books here by Jennifer L. Armentrout for the month of May, but this is the 3rd book in the From Blood and Ash series. I'm going to be reading it in the month of May because the way the book number 2 ended. Oh my god, I'm obsessed with this series. Like, it's honestly going to be a 6-star series for me, and I'm only 2 books in. Only 2 books in, and I'm very excited to start the Flesh and Fire series, because after book number 3, I think I then have to go in with book number 1 from the Flesh and Fire series. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think that's right. But we're going to go in with this, A Crown of Gilded Bones by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Oh my god, I'm so excited. That was easy and that was quick. Okay, next prompt. I like giving it quick and easy like that, like when I've just got a book straight off the brain that I know. It's so much easier for me. Back to back. So I just like continue a series, and now I've got start a new series. Yay! I cannot be starting a new series right now. I'm in so many series, like in the middle of so many series. Oh, but then we could do Trial of the Sun Queen, or we could start An Ember in the Ashes. They're both the first books in a series. What can I start? Ooh, we have got Striker by Anna Huang. This is the first book. I feel like we could go with this because we're very fantasy heavy right now, but then we've got some big books here, and this is another really big book. Like for a romance, this is like almost 600 pages, which is insane for a romance book. Oh, but then we have got Before I Let Go by Candy Ryan. I've recently just bought this, and this is the first book in, I want to say like the Skyland series, I think it's called. Yeah, the Skyland series. This is the first one, and they're meant to be such amazing reads. Like Candy Ryan is meant to write the most like heart-wrenchingly amazing stories, so I'm excited to see how I feel about this. Then I do also want to start these. Obviously, as I've already shown, A Trial of the Sun Queen and An Ember in the Ashes. Which ones should I choose? I feel like we're on very much like orange theme right now. Should we do another wheel spin? I feel like we would just have to do another wheel spin because I'm very excited to start all 3 of these, and I feel like I'll enjoy every single one of them. I know that I will. Okay, so we've got our things here, and I'm just going to spin the wheel. Oh my god, I'm so scared. I'm looking for, they're all around roughly the same amount of pages, so I feel fine with whatever it chooses. Oh, Before I Let Go. Oh, okay, that's amazing. Yeah, Before I Let Go. Okay, we're on par now with the amount of like genre we have. So we have fantasy, romance, fantasy, romance, fantasy, romance right now. We need to choose 2 more prompts. Okay, not the last prompt. Last 2 prompts. Ooh, any romance book. Okay, so I can literally choose any romance book that I want to choose. What do I fancy reading? Sometimes these are the worst ones because even though I have free reign, I'm just too indecisive for these kinds of prompts. I feel like we've got some very long books on my TBR, so I feel like I want something short and sweet, something that I can just digest in like a day or 2. Okay, so I've scoured my shelves, and I think I'm gonna settle on The Rule Book by Sarah Adams. It's the only one that I'm very excited to get to. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just wanted a standalone, nothing too extreme, and I think this is the only one that I'm like the most excited for, standalone wise. And it's a sports romance. We all know that I love a sports romance over here, and this is an NFL romance, which I'm very excited for because I usually read hockey romances, and I'm like, I feel like I could just watch a game of hockey now and not understand the full game, but there's like loads of other sports out there that I haven't read about, so I'm very excited to read about an NFL player. And it's a Sarah Adams book. I've recently discovered that I love Sarah Adams, so I'm gonna love this. Right, last but not least, what's it gonna be? Book with an animal on the cover. Okay, I feel like our best bet is probably gonna be a fantasy, I think. Right. God, that took so long. I got 3 books here that have animals on the cover. As I mentioned, we got Book Lovers by Emily Henry. This has got like the little fish on the back of the book by here. And then we've got Gothicana by Runix. This has got, what did this have? Oh, the little bird on the side by here. And then we've got A Starless Sea, which has got the big sort of like owl on the side there, and it's also got like bees on the back. Now, this has been in my TBR for the longest time. Like, I honestly don't know how long this has been on my TBR for, and I feel like if I don't read it now, it's going to be given away because it's ridiculous how long this has been on my TBR for. Oh my god, this sounds so good. When Zachary Rollins stumbles across a mysterious book containing details from his own life among its pages, it leads him on a quest like unlike the others. Following the clues inside, he's guided to a masquerade ball, a dangerous secret club, and finally to an ancient subterranean library. What Zachary finds in this curious place is more than just buried home for books and their guardians. It is a place of lost cities and seas, lovers who pass notes thoughts across time and stories whispered by the dead. But when the library is threatened, Zachary must race through the twisted tunnels and sweetly soaked shores, searching for the end of his story. Okay, this sounds so good. Why is it got to be in the third person? I need to grow up. Like, I've read so many third person books and I love them every single time. Like Divine Rivals, was that third person? I think it was. Crescent City, third person. Throne of Glass series, third person. There's so many third person books that I've read and I've really enjoyed, but it's just the initial going into them that I struggle with. We got Gothcana, which I think I spoke about in my last TBR video. This is, again, I know it was in third person because I had a rant about this being in third person, but this is more of like a gothic romance, I guess you can say, but they're like in a university. And then obviously I've spoken about Book Lovers, and I don't know what I want to go with. I think I'm gonna go with Starlacy because that's the one I was most excited for, like when I've read the back. Like, it really piqued my interest and it's got the most amount of animals on the book, so I feel like this is a winner. It is a bit long, but I'm gonna give it a go. Obviously if I don't enjoy it, then I'll just DNF it, and at least I can say I've given it a go. But it sounds really good and I feel like I really want to read this. I feel like this is gonna have some amazing quotes and some amazing things. Like, anything books about books are my favourite things ever. Like, especially when we find that like amazing quote inside a book about books and about readers. I love that so much. But we have now come to the end of my TBR video. I feel like we've got a very exciting TBR this month. We've got a great mix of romance and fantasy. 1, 2, 3. I feel like I've chosen so many books, but there's some chunky ones in here. Some big chunky ones, yeah. But I'm gonna go through these quickfire with you, even though you've just watched me go through all these. But obviously it's Starlacy by Erin Morgenstern, The Rule Book by Sarah Adams, Before I Let Go by Kenny Ryan, The Crown of Gilded Bones by Jennifer L. Armentrout, Close Protection by Eden Victoria, Throne of Broken Gods by Amber V. Nicole, The Charlie Method by Al Kennedy, and again by Jennifer L. Armentrout, A Fall of Ruin and Wrath. I've got to say that this is an amazing collection of books right here. I'm very excited for most of these. I feel like I was on a very big contemporary romance kick and now I'm sort of like back in my fantasy, but I feel like I'm like equally spread out between the both now. Like, I feel like for a long time I was fantasy, and then I've just been on like a big contemporary romance kick at the minute where I've just been like romance with a little bit of fantasy, but now I'm like equally divided from like fantasy and romance. So I am excited for all of these, and I'm excited to just get some more books off my TBR because I have way too many books on my TBR. Way too many. But as I've already mentioned, make sure you let me put these books down. As I've already mentioned, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can see all these books feature in some videos. 90% of these books will probably feature in a video, so make sure you have subscribed so you can watch me read those books, watch my live raw reactions of these books, because we do get some very raw reactions here on this channel. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe, all that jazz that I always ask you to do. And also let me know in the comments as well if you've read any of these books. Let me know what your thoughts and feelings were, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!